Hello guys, Lenken here, and today we're going to discuss the art of war, how to properly defend and how to properly attack. Since basically we have been fighting the entire server by now, we have some experience in my guild. But before we do this, I want to mention one thing about the dungeons. If you're trying to farm like one specific hero, like in my case Grimr, I want his tokens or his fragments. So I go to a dungeon, right? I try to find and locate the specific hero type that I want, like this one. And once I have fought one of these, if I click on the same dungeon, I can press this button here, find the level 5, and I find another one with the exact same criteria and with exact same hero. So this is a good way to find the same. But if you happen to miss where that dungeon was and you're having trouble finding it, it's a better way to do like this. Once you found one that has what you want, you press on the location tab here and press share and share again, and then in guild chat you will actually be able to find your dungeon, and when you press the location you will come directly to where you were. So this is a good way when you shut down the game for a while and you don't want to start trying to find one of these again. Then you just you can press the same location from the guild tab, and that way you will find them fast. And this is of course good for your guild as well, since there's a lot of events where you have to find these dungeons, and then you will help your teammates as well. So this be good. Usually I just press attack and then I do something else and I let them fight in full auto, and that way it takes some time but it doesn't bother me. It's a good way to use those keys and to also farm those event points. Anyways, back to the war. As you can see, basically our entire guild, it's bigger, but the ones that are here, they are all having shields because we're getting nuked basically all the time. And when it comes to attacking, if you are a douchebag, this is what you want to do. You want to find your opponents. This is the thing, this is a war game, of course you need to ravage and make war and fight and all this, but do it, come on the bigger opponents. Take this gang of team members and punish those strong opponents. But just nuking down really weak opponents, that's just being a douche. But anyways, that's up to you, and if you want to be a douche, this is what you want to do. You try to find a member that's weaker than you and doesn't have a shield, and then you just attack, right? Better to do this during the night so he doesn't get reinforcements. And what you want to do is attack the same opponent. Doesn't matter if he has resources or not, you will attack him several times until he has 0 health. And you will get a war status every time you fight. You will see how much power he has lost and how much health he has left. And once it's 0, then you know he's totally drained. And by doing this, when he wakes up in the morning, he needs to cure all his heroes. And that will cost him, in my case, it will cost about 500,000 of moon dust. And also it takes like 2 hours to cure them. So it's a good way to slow down your opponents. And then you can do this on the entire guild basically. Having that said, if you want to avoid this and you do not have shields and can't afford buying them in the guild shop, then I would recommend you to do one of two things. If you are playing online and you suddenly see they are attacking you and you know that you have some heroes in your house, you can just send them away to a mine for some time. And once they attack you, if you don't have any resources that they can take, because in my case, I have 3 million that will be protected, so I won't lose anything. But I will lose my heroes' health, and that will cost me a lot to repair, so I don't want that. I will just send them away to a mine, and once they have attacked my house, I can recall my heroes. Having that said, as an attacker, of course, you should, especially at night, if your opponent has sent out 3 teams or 4 teams with mining at 8 hours and thinking he will be safe during the entire night, you should, before you attack their house and drain them totally, of course you should try to locate their mines, attack those first. Once you attacked those mines, the heroes will run back home, and when they have run back home, that's when you nuke them down, and then they will have 0 health. So this is the cat and mouse game that you can play. Having that said, as a defender, you need to avoid them opponents finding your mines, and then there's 2 ways to do this. And one is you could actually just, if you know that they will just hunt you down, and you know that you won't get the resources, so you just skip the idea of actually being able to get anything from the mines. You just want to have your heroes being at full health at the morning. You could just go as far back as possible in the map. So basically you will go to a level 1 area in the back as far as you can do. You go somewhere, and then you send away your troops, and it will take like 10 minutes for them to run back here. And if your opponents, even if they find you, it will take them like 10 minutes to come here and then 10 minutes to run back. So at least you give them something to work for. Another way is if you know that you have some member that has a shield, like a 24-hour shield would be the best. But then you have to discuss it in the message in your guild, so you don't happen to go into a shield that just will run out. But if you know that it's a fresh shield, you could just reinforce your members with all your teams, and that way your house will be empty, so when they attack your house you don't lose any health. So this is basically the strategy when you're just trying to not lose your health on your heroes, and giving up the idea of being able to get some resources at all from the mines, because this is what happens once you get closer to the center. I also want to mention when you want to farm points, like this is one of those events where you can actually get points when killing a hero, and not only a computer hero but actually a player hero. And you might be a big team of members that actually try to attack one of these houses, right? And then you might wonder who will get those points. Will everyone get points, or how does it work? And how it works is that only the player whose hero kills the other hero will actually be getting those points. So it's not something everyone will get or share. And as you can see, while I've been talking now, I've been farming. My hero's been farming in the dungeon for some time now, and soon he will be finished, and I will get like 1500 points or something like that. So it's a neat way to do something else and still be farming that event and those fragments. I think that will be it for now. I actually want to mention one more thing, and it's oh, here it comes. I get 1800 points. Okay, and it's and no, actually I don't bother about climbing too far in the event. If I would actually have more of the same tank and vampires that are needed, the boosters. But I don't bother about that right now. I just want to come in the top 100. Anyway, what I want to say is I actually made a couple of really fun and really great movies. I haven't sent them out on the internet yet because I don't want to share some strategical information that's in the movie yet, because we've been fighting an entire server and it's really fun to see. But I have to wait one more week or so until I think until the next gate opens, and that's soon actually. And then we can see if I can start sending out those movies, because they will be fun. So something to look forward for. Until next time, guys.